This is the Sakura's version of the Koubu-kai from Sakura Taisen 2. Wonderful, wonderful game for the Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast. Now, my first introduction to Sakura Taisen was through the Sega Saturn game, and later I saw the anime and such, but the anime's okay, but you get more out of if you've actually watched or played the game. I think it's really, really wonderful amalgamation of strategy RPG and dating sim, and it's really cool because especially the character of Sakura was voiced by Yokoyama Chisa, and her adorable voice really, really makes the character for me, and it's just really, really great. And just hearing her say "Ogami-san" in the game, she's adorable. So this is the instructions manual, obviously, So it's not very complex. Comes with a figure, and there you go. So I figured I'd like to show this to you. You know, there's countless of people on YouTube doing builds of Gundams and such. I'd like to show you a different robot figure. Now, this is made by Wave, and I had built the Galaga Fighter by Wave. So this will be my second Wave model kit that I've made. So, okay, yeah, the parts look like they might be they might fit together fairly well, snap-wise. I don't know if they'd snap at all, but they seem to kind of, fit together fairly well. I don't think they're snap. They don't look like they're snap. We'll see. Here's the sword. Neat. And here is Sakura. Yay, she's so cute and pretty. Her ponytail comes as a separate piece. This will be very fun to paint for me. I really enjoy painting little anime figures. The problem is getting the eyes right. But look at this. Look at this, look at this. Now you can actually see eyeballs. They have water slide decals for her eyes. Isn't that great? That is so great. There's lots of cool kanji and stuff to dress it up. This shows it, basic. There's no decals. Here you can see decals. Here's marking. It says, alright, this is how you do the marking on the back and front. You can add more marking. Decals, you can do what you like. This is really cool. Look at this. It has like the kill marks. Look at that. That is really cool. So you can paint up how many enemies that Sakura-chan has defeated. That's super cool. For the everybody outside of Japan, when you count in fives, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in Japan, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, which is the kanji for 5 goal. That's how they count kill marks on that. Isn't that cool? That is so great. Really neat. There's the kanji for Kai. So, if you play the games, the Koubu are, of course, from the first game. Koubu-kai were introduced in Sakura Taisen 2. Which, as great as the first Sakura Taisen game was, Sakura Taisen 2 is just so much cooler, especially with the combined attacks and all that. My only gripe was that I found the battles to be a bit more challenging in the first game, because like in the second game, if you use your Hisatsu moves, your super attacks on like the foot soldiers, once you fight the boss, your charge meter has been replenished to full strength. So if you have all of your characters attacking with their Hisatsu moves, it's a piece of cake. I did not find the actual battles in the second game to be as challenging as the first games. However, the way that the battles are taken, are carried out, are a little bit cooler, especially with the combined combo attacks and such. So, yeah. Play the games. You really need to do it. I mean, heck, you can get a Dreamcast or a Saturn for very cheap. I mean, Sega Saturns are super cheap, and the Sakura Taisen games for those are... You can get them for super cheap. So, anyhow, it has a painting guide here. They give you the GSI Krios, Mr. Color, and also the Mr. Color, the Aqueous Hobby Color acrylic painting schemes as well. So, neat stuff. And here's the final runner. You get polycaps. Pretty cool. These look identical to what you would see in a typical Gundam. So, swanky neato, huh? I'm guessing this would be a pretty straightforward build. We'll see. But I'm really looking forward to it. So you could maybe just leave this as is and just, do a coat of dull coat on it, and it should look really nice. The parts are not undergated though. I would like to go ahead and just paint the whole thing. That would be pretty swell. So you got like this part here needs to be painted gold, I think. So this will be pretty cool. I think this will be a really fun build. So I'll get started on it and show you what I'm going to do. So next I would like to take a couple of these parts off the runner and see how they fit together. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is like the top part here. Goes behind, I think. Alright, so I think this is kind of a snap together model. It does kind of go together pretty easily. Okay. So, yeah, it is kind of a snap model kit. Interesting. So, because I'm not ready to begin construction yet, I'm going to use my Gunpla parts separator by Bandai and take this apart. There. Okay. So I guess I can wash the runners off in the sink next. So first I want to look at the figure. Painting these anime figures, that's what I really enjoy. So that was the first thing I really looked at when I opened up this model from its box. So this is from Sakura Taisen 2, and the uniform is different. Now I actually own a Sakura figure. Now this is her uniform from the first game. So she just has these golden epaulettes and just a pink tunic with a white scarf and white pants and pink boots. So, and of course her token red ribbon. Now, this is her Sakura Taisen 2 outfit. So you'll see here, it's, you know, it is a pink tunic, but they have like this little red undercoat, petticoat, or whatever you'd call it. She has a red bow here instead of a white scarf, and she has like a darker pink on the inside and on the cuffs, and she has this dark gray on the sleeves. Now apparently all of the girls have this dark sleeve. See, I think that's the one standard. They have yeah, the dark sleeve, the red undercoat, and the white pants. That's the one thing that they all have in common. So, going by this, I will use this as a painting reference. So I'm going to remove her from the runner here, and actually this is a different type of plastic. This is a soft plastic. It's very different from the rest of the model. It's yeah, it is a little bit bendable. I don't know what kind of plastic you would call this. It is soft. So I'm assuming there should be no problems with the painting. I'm going to be using acrylic paints. So hopefully there'll be no problem. I don't know, the little figures I've done before have been hard plastic. So her hair, there's a little peg that goes into there, and it definitely needs to be attached via glue. Yeah, you need glue, but this is very nice because I can paint these in separate, you know, I can paint these separately and then attach the bow and hair at the end. One thing I noticed, oh, of course I'll have to work on them, you know, where I cut the gates. There's like a little circle here. Let me get something to point with. This is probably from the mold. There's a circle thing here, and where was the other one? There was another one around here somewhere. Yeah, I think this is it here. There's a little circle here, and another one here. Maybe I'll have to sand this a little bit, but they're not too noticeable. I thought I saw another one, but I don't see it now. So, yeah, I'll just want to sand those down a little bit first before priming them. So let me do that now. This is a lot more flexible than regular plastic. I don't know what this is, but anyhow, I have worked to minimize the seam lines along the side of her legs and her arms and such. So that little circle on the back of her head is going to be obscured by her ponytail. I'm not going to worry about that. I did find that other elusive one. So she had one here on the top of her back, and she also had one here right on her butt area. So I sanded those down. Sanding this, it was a little bit difficult. It doesn't really sand like regular plastic would. But anyhow, she's cute and she's ready for priming. Yay. Okay, first I'm priming the girl with Mr. Base White 1000. And just kind of brush it on with a wide brush. And if you've watched my my samurai video, it's basically the same thing. So I'll just go over this with several coats until it looks nice and white. And look pretty nice. So this has been primed. I went over it a few times, and I found that after I had primed it with Mr. Base White, because this is lacquer, it kind of hardened this up. After it had the base coat on it, I discovered that it was so much easier to work with and, you know, file it down, smooth it out and such. So, this is ready for painting. Now, as always, I'm going to be using Delta Ceramic coats for her hair. I want to not just do blue, or, you know, the instructions call for like a navy blue. I want to do it mostly black with just a very small tint of blue. Because, you know, modern, I happen to have some posters here. So this is, you know, modern day, you know, drawings of Sakura. She's got definitely like bluish hair. In the Kosuke Fujishima's original artwork, is primarily black hair with some blue highlights. So what I want to do is just do some blue highlights and just some white, for, like, you know, to represent the shine. So that's what these two are for. White, obviously, is going to be for her pants. Red is going to be for her bow and, you know, the trim of her uniform. And I think like the inside, and you know, her little petticoat and such. There's going to be some gold trim, so I'm going to use Tester's Gold, which I have around here somewhere. But it's where that crap is it? Yeah. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe I don't have it anymore. I'll look for it later. Anyhow, use Tester's or some sort of gold enamel paint. So for the trim. Now for her main uniform, you know, I don't live in America anymore, so this is kind of you know, I can't just go to Joann's like I used to and pick up Delta Ceramic Coat. So I found this on Rakuten. Think Pink is going to be the pink for the main color of her uniform. Now her cuffs are going to be like a slightly darker pink, and I looked on the internet and I discovered that, you know, bubblegum would be the good color choice. But this is like, it doesn't even look that much different actually. When you look at these two together, there's not a whole lot of difference. But you'll see here, I painted on the cap here and let it dry. Once it dries, you can see more of a difference in the colors. So bubblegum is actually a good color choice, so I'm going to go with that. So let's get started with painting. Ah, here it is. I found my gold. This is my gold, Tester's Gold, so I do have it after all. Yay! Okay, so here's I'll just start with white. Just drop a little drop of that, and anyway, Oscar water from Evangelion. Still got this around. I just use it for modeling and stuff. There we go. And just get started. So, as I mentioned, the video games are pretty freaking cool. I really recommend seeing it. If you've just only seen like the anime, especially the TV series was kind of, in Japan it had a nickname of Sakura Evangelion because it tried to emulate Evangelion a little bit too much with the, playing up the drama between characters and stuff. I mean, in the game, especially like Kana and Sumire, they were always at each other's throats a lot, but the anime, the TV anime really kind of played from that angle a little bit too much, and it's just the whole, nobody can get along with each other and everybody hates each other kind of a thing. Bright and cheerful Iris, she was actually like a shut-in that wouldn't talk, and it was just a little bit too dramatic. And what was fun about the video game is that it was just not to be taken seriously at all. At the time in the 90s, of course, the big thing was Evangelion. And that kind of set us a trend of like putting like a random religious kind of bullcrap, and by bullcrap I mean just totally not based on anything whatsoever, just making stuff up as they went along. And Evangelion had some like Christian overtones and such, and I put too much water in this, so. Sakura Taisen kind of had that a bit too. I mean, it's kind of silly. The main character, the enemy, his name is Satan, and it turns out that he's actually Satan from the Bible. And then like there's one point like towards the end of the game that like all of your characters are killed, and it turns out like your gosh, what is she, like your chief of staff or whatever she was, the assistant officer to Yoneda, what was her name, Kaeda, I think. She turns out she was like she was actually like the Archangel Michael. So it kind of like they probably didn't know it, but it had like kind of a silly hints of Jehovah's Witness bullcrap in there as well. It's kind of silly, and especially with the whole Archangel Michael thing, that really killed me. And of course it wasn't just Michael, but it was like Michael and drag, obviously, because she was a female character. Goofy. But it had like when the alarm would go off, they would all when they go to their battle stations, they would push a button on the wall, and like the painting would slide, and then they would like hop in. There's like a slide, and their clothes would be magically changed by the time they got to the bottom of the slide. And it's kind of similar to like Voltron or whatever when they were going to the lions and such. It was just a silly, fun game, and I had a lot of fun with it. And of course, the main part of it was the dating sim part, and it was really cute. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a dating sim because you don't really date a whole lot. I mean, you go on like some adventures, and especially like you do date Sakura and I guess Iris or whatever. No, when I mean Sakura, I mean kind of like you can actually score points with any of the girls, and they would become your romantic lead character or whatever. But other than that, it was just a really super fun game. So the strategy game, it's not really the strongest. You look elsewhere for that, for a better experience with that. But just overall, it was a fun game. So this is kind of coming on a little bit thick. I think I might need to just wipe a lot of this off, wait a while, and just do like thinner coats, because I don't want to blorch all of this on at once. It's kind of, I'm losing some detail here. Just kind of paint it off, rub off the excess here, and try again a little bit later. Actually, what? It's almost 11 o'clock at night. I should probably just clean up this paint tray and start fresh tomorrow, because this is it's getting a little bit late. So there's not a whole lot of white, just on the back collar of her shirt here, and on the sides here on her chest. Probably next I'd probably do the flesh tone. But I don't want to obscure the pinstriping here. I don't know how well this is gonna level when this dries. So, yeah, I'm gonna end this here and start on this tomorrow morning or so. Yeah.